Hello, everybody. I want to wish you a happy new year, and you know what that means? It's time for Vinyl Tag. So, if you're not familiar, Vinyl Tag is basically a thing that goes around in the vinyl community. We have a list of questions to generate a conversation about your record buying habits, your musical tastes, and maybe get to know the person, a little bit. This year, there's actually a number of different vinyl tags going around. I am going with the metal vinyl tag. Some of the others have questions that are just a little too broad or too narrow for me to be able to answer. So, metal it is. So, just a little personal background for me. My name is Galen, and I have been a collector of CDs for the last 30 years or so, plus years, and I have a huge CD library. I've just gotten more into collecting vinyl records in the last 3 or 4 years, especially since 2020 when COVID showed up and just shut down live music. And so I went just crazy ordering records online, just spending all my concert money on records. In 2021, I kind of slowed down that trend a bit, although I still have some records that are on order that I'm waiting for. They've been delayed, so they're on back order. But I do have enough records in my collection so that I can go through this whole tag without dipping into my CD collection. So we'll get started now. So first question, number one, is your favorite reissue from 2021. Opeth, Blackwater Park. So this album was originally released in 2001. This is the 20th anniversary reissue. I already have 2 copies on CD, one from the original and another one from about 2012 or so. So this one I got in slate gray marbled color. So, alright, so there you go. Opeth, Blackwater Park. Question 2. A band, old or new, that you discovered in 2021. Now, this is a band that I've known about for many years, but I have not gotten around to buying a copy of one of their records until this past year. UFO, Lights Out in this case. So I picked this up at a record fair, and took it when I got home and gave it a listen. I was like, wow, this is really good. Okay, of course you got Michael Schenker on guitar here. I've got some of his solo material on CD. But yeah, UFO, and hopefully I'll be able to pick up some more of their records in the coming year. Number 3, an outstanding vocal performance. I have Anneke van Giersbergen. Now, this is not a metal record. This is more a singer-songwriter for solo. But she has collaborated with Ariane and Devin Townsend, and her first band, her career started with The Gathering. But this is her solo record that came out this past year, and she is a great singer. I mean, she is a phenomenal singer. She's got a great voice. So, sorry. So yeah, there she is. So there you go, Anneke van Giersbergen. Number 4, a gap filler. So this is a record that may not be the best in the band's catalog, but you're just filling it in for to be a completist. Yeah. So, Fifth Angel, Time Will Tell. Now, Fifth Angel is an American power metal band. Their first album was released on Shrapnel Records, and it was a great album, badass album. They sing a lot about apocalyptic themes, the end of the world, things like that. Then they got signed on to Epic Records, and the record label was pushing them in a more of a pop direction, or a commercial direction. You have song titles like Midnight Love. They do a cover of Lights Out from UFO. And it's not as good as the first album. So they broke up after this one, and they came back together fairly recently and put out a third album called The Third Secret, in which they got back to being Fifth Angel. So, Fifth Angel, Time Will Tell. Number 5, a cheap pickup. Now, I don't remember what I paid for this, but I got this at the same record fair that I got UFO at. And so I just kind of pulled a few titles together out of the bin there. So, Tony McAlpine, Edge of Insanity. He's a neoclassical shred guitar player. Also on Shrapnel Records. Yeah, and I just love those old Shrapnel Records titles. There you go. There's my pick. Number 6, your favorite artwork. And I'm going to go with Helloween, their self-titled album. And this one I really love because in a day and age when so many album cover artwork is computer generated, this is hand painted, hand illustrated. So, and of course, this is the album where they reunited with some of their former members, Michael Kiske and Kai Hansen. So you got 7 people in the band now. And this is a great album. It's a great, almost like a reunion album. Not that they've gone away or anything, but it's definitely a new Helloween. So, number 7, your favorite track. Now I had to think about that, but at the end of the day, I'm just gonna go with Epica, Omega, and I have a couple on here that I really like. There is Abyss of Time, which was the first single off this album, but also I've really gotten to love Kingdom of Heaven Part 3. Now, you can hear both of these on YouTube. They have videos, but these are my picks for our favorite tracks. Number 8, an earworm. Now, that could be a bit subjective. What may work for some people may not work for others, but I'm going to go with Armored Saint. This is Symbol of Salvation live. Their album Symbol of Salvation was released back in the early 90s, but on this record they perform it live in concert in its entirety. And there's a few bonus tracks on here. But this is, the original album, Symbol of Salvation, it's a great album, but the songs kind of get stuck in your head and you kind of wear on you after a while. So that's my pick for an earworm. Number 9, 2 albums that you want to cull from your collection. So I've already done a culling this year. I signed up for a VNYL subscription, and I wanted to find out if they could actually cater to a metalhead like myself. I saw a bunch of unboxing videos that some younger millennial kids have done for VNYL, and I kind of got the sense that they're more into like the Urban Outfitters crowd. But I wanted to just try it out and see what I can get from them. And I got a bunch that I just didn't got a bunch of records that I just didn't like. You know, it doesn't seem like they really understood metalheads' taste in music. But I still have these two here. This is Goliathan Albion, and this is like instrumental music. You just have 3 tracks on here, so I guess this is more of an EP. And this here is Valkyrie Fear. So these are 2 that I might still let go of somewhere down the road, but those are on my call list, possibly. Number 10, a band that you've gone off of. Now, I guess that means a band that you've been a fan of for a long time, but you have not listened to recently. So, my pick is Iced Earth. Certainly not because I got tired of their music, but Jon Schaffer kind of got himself in some hot water last year. Now, you may know that he was involved, he took part in the Washington, D.C. riots. And when I saw his picture on the FBI wanted list, I was like, oh crap. Iced Earth is finished. He's not going to recover. His career is done. His bandmates split. The record label dropped him like radioactive waste. And, of course, also have Demons and Wizards that he was a part of. That's pretty much finished. Hansi Kirsch, his partner in that was just like, we're done. So, it wasn't a conscious choice of mine to stop listening to Iced Earth, but it's just, and now I'm not getting into the politics of the whole situation. Okay, I have my own feelings about the 2020 election, but, I have not gone back to Iced Earth since that happened. So, anyway. Next, a 90s album. Now, of course, in the 90s, you have, the time when, the vinyl record, industry crashed, and also trends in heavy metal have shifted. You had grunge, which kind of which totally changed the whole scene, and then you had nu metal that was popular at the time. But there you go, Fates Warning, Parallels. This album came out in 1991, just when grunge was, arriving on the scene. So there you go. Next, 7-inch single. So I have not been buying 7-inch singles, at least not recently, but I do have a few from back when I was a teenager, back in the 80s. Here's one from a band called Shy. This was a kind of a sampler from a Kerrang magazine. The A-side is Under Fire, and the B-side is got 2 tracks on the B-side, Young Heart and Break Down the Walls. So, just look at these guys. That's not the 80s, is it? Of course. Next we have Jafria, Call to the Heart. I don't know if you'd call it metal. They were more like a melodic hard rock, but it was a record that I found that I liked at the time. We're talking like about 84 or so. So the B-side on this is Out of the Blue. And also I have a couple here. I don't have the sleeve sleeves for these anymore, but this is Def Leppard. We have, let's see, we have Rock of Ages here, and the B-side, Billy's Got a Gun. And here we have Foolin', and B-side is Coming Under Fire. So, those are my 7-inch singles. Next one, number 13, is an epic song that is more than 8 minutes long. Now, I could have picked Skyfall from Halloween and Kingdom of Heaven Part 3 from Epica, but, you know, I wanted to kind of keep a new record going on for each one. So here I have Dream Theater. This is the Lost Not Forgotten Archives, a dramatic tour of events, some live recordings from the Dramatic Turn of Events tour. And here we have The Count of Tuscany, which takes up the whole side of a disc. It doesn't list the time on these track listing, but it is definitely an epic song. You know, of course, this Dream Theater, of course. They have so many of those. All right. Next, number 14. Your opinion on Record Store Day. So that is something that I have not involved myself with. Most of my record buying is online. And Record Store Day, I've just not gotten involved with. You know, it's like Record Store Day is over here, I'm over here. I don't have a problem with it, but it was just, you know, something I have not gotten around to, you know, take part in. Okay, number 15. Something in your record player setup that you want to change. Now, for me, I've been using this. Now, I know Crosley gets a lot of hate online from the VC community. You know, of course, is it audiophile quality? Of course not. And I do want to upgrade. Of course, the problem is I have a limited space to work with here. I have a small apartment. This just happens to be what I have to work with. Anyway, I do, you know, it is something I do recognize that I need to improve. So that's my setup change. Number 16, your biggest musical disappointment in 2021. In my case, it is not so much a disappointment as is an absolute heartbreak. It is the passing of Mike Howe from Metal Church. Now, back when they released their XI album a few years ago, they came to this little small nightclub here in my city, and I was able to see them up close and personal, just really up close in my face, and it was a phenomenal show, the best in that venue that I saw. And then later on, I caught them on the Megadeth tour. And when I heard that, just the news of Mike Howe's passing, it was absolutely crushing. I mean, even more than some of the other musical passings that we've had, like Eddie Van Halen or Lemmy or Ronnie James Dio. You know, I was listening to Metal Church, you know, just every day for weeks on end, and just wanted to just cry. You know, it was just really, really sad. So, yeah, there you go. Number 17, 2022 album that you're waiting for. So, basically the only one that's on my radar right now is the new one from Megadeth. You know, here I have Warheads on Foreheads, their, you know, career anthology. So, I mean, there's more that's going to come up, but that's the only one. But, Megadeth is the only one that's on my radar at this moment. Okay, number 18. A band member that you would like to see a solo album from. And my nomination is Floor Jansen, or Floor Jansen for my Dutch audience. We know her from Nightwish. And she is just an absolutely phenomenal vocalist. Hold on here. Oh, there it is. Sorry. So this is their live album Decades, and if she does a solo album, she could certainly keep up with the likes of Celine Dion. Not that Celine Dion does metal, of course, we know that, but she is of that caliber. Floor is of that caliber of a singer. She is a phenomenal singer, and I'm almost shocked that she hasn't done a solo album yet. So that's one I would like to see. Number 19, placeholder or a record that you are holding on to in anticipation of getting a better copy of. We'll put it that way. Okay, so I have King Crimson here, In the Court of the Crimson King. This is a vintage copy, but the jacket is kind of like starting to come apart. It's pretty beat up. It's pretty worn down. The record itself is in good condition, and it's got a nice inner sleeving here with polylined. So, but this is one that I really think I could have gotten a like a reissue copy of something that's in better condition. So there you go, King Crimson. And finally, number 20, a record that you have yet to pick up, whether it's because of price or availability. Now, in my case, it's not so much the reason why, it's just that I haven't gotten around to it, but Todd La Torre, his solo album, of course we know him from Queensryche, and KK's Priest. Those are two that I would love to get, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. So I'll have to get on it. Alright, so there we go. That is my vinyl tag. Have you enjoyed it? And we will see you on the next video. Okay? Have a good day, and I'll see you later.